Hello, ladies and Gen X. This is the amazing chest and shoulder session that we did with Ivan in Mornar Bodybuilding Club in Pula, Croatia. What you're seeing at the moment is the last set of dumbbell presses on an incline. We don't have the other two because we filmed them vertically. And I'm really glad and thankful that Ivan found the time and even the willingness to work out with me and film all this stuff after working on a car for more than a week, trying to fit a month of work in 1 week and a half. So I highly invite you to watch his video about the restoration of a golf that was a hellhole, to be honest. I even tried to help out. And this is also why the session was a little bit more high volume, less intensity, less weight than usual, and more focused on tiny little things that I'm going to speak about in the next sets. But for the time being, this is a hammer strength machine that I really wanted to try for a very long time. And oh boy, I understood why everybody loved this one. I mean, the strength curve is perfect. You can even do pack minor shrugs at the end. You don't even need to load a lot. And if you can, you're Hercules. And it fits all people. I mean, even is 6 foot. So in this session, we really worked on finding the grip that suits him and actually making him do also full reps with a pack minor shrug at the end, releasing the scapula. So this machine was truly awesome. I got nothing more to say. I had a lot of fun. You can do um, shorten reps, in the mid range. You can do lengthen partials, which are really trendy these days for some kind of reason, as if they never existed, and then Wolf Coaching suddenly discovered them. But anyways, as I said, this session was focused on training the pack minor. So what you're going to see is again a release of the scapula and quote unquote pushing the shoulder forward on every press. So these are not strict presses with an arch trying to be really stiff. No, we are trying to cover all the ROM of the chest and getting into peak contraction. Because I don't know if you know this, but the pack minor sits underneath the pack major, which is your chest. And when you develop the pack minor, just like Arnold did and Franco did back in the day, it pushes the pack major forward and even some parts of the upper chest, making you look more dense, quote unquote, and solid also from the side. So, this is how you get a really big chest, especially if you're not built like somebody with short arms and probably very wide clavicles, built to have a big chest and do a barbell bench pretty much every day. I really believe this is the key because I've seen a tremendous development in my chest after doing this stuff for more than a year with bands, without bands, and just maximizing both the pack major and the pack minor. So more machine presses, more dumbbell work with rotation, and again, less barbell stuff. Here, you're seeing how the movement changes on somebody that is taller and with longer limbs. And the crazy thing that I gotta mention about Ivan is that he has some crazy mobility for somebody of his height and age. It's like is younger than what it is, and he can also really push himself forward. Again, you might say, oh, well, this is all shoulders, this is wrong, you're curving the spine, but the contraction is there. And again, not only you can feel it, you will see the benefits if you run this stuff for more than 2 to 3 months. So I highly suggest you to try before saying, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Because at the start, it didn't make any sense to me. And if you want to ask where all this comes from, is a video from John Meadows where he's talking about pack minor dips, and I started thinking, well, pack minor dips are cool, but they are really hard to do. So what if I can use another implement to do them? And that's when I started using a chest press machine. And horizontally and on an incline, chest press machine is much more easier. It makes much more sense, just like doing Kelso shrugs. So that's how the whole thing is wrapped up. And then you can revert back to do pack minor dips on a deep station with your whole body weight. But I believe that just starting out with these is not going to be a good idea. So this is kind of the regression to that whole thing. So we are clear about where things come from and where the idea started. Yeah, and then we moved to the pack fly, which at first I had a little, uh, you know, uh, weird, random Biden moment, and I almost forgot how the machine was working. But thanks to the cameraman, we kind of, solved that whole thing. And these sets took like forever. I believe even was cursing against me at some point because when I do chest flies and I really get into contraction, leaving those small little spaces between the handle, I start tingling, vibrating, and it almost looks as if I'm going to failure, like some kind of fitness influencer. But no, I'm just like at rep 12 and I want to get at rep 20, even if it's not the perfect hypertrophy range. And it just, I don't know, blows the mind of some of my trainees and people that I can even do that. But this is how it's supposed to be if you really want to see where you're going to failure, where your failure point is. Otherwise, you have no idea and you're just lying to yourself, saying that you're going to failure, but you have like 6 to 8 more reps, which is a lot. And again, this is like stupid TikToker moment trying to explain this thing again. You have to drop your elbows down when you're doing these. Otherwise, your pack is not going to stretch and you're using more of your arms. That's also why I'm not gripping the handles and I'm using my palm. That's how you deactivate the bicep a little, just enough to strengthen the arms at the end and complete the rep with your chest in tension. And as you're seeing, there's still some space between the handles because guess what? This is how the whole thing it's supposed to be. Again, this is like I don't even count reps anymore. I just know that after like rep number 12, I'm gonna get to 20 and so on. And this is just how a volume phase is supposed to be, rather than trying to chase numbers and just maximizing the rep range. That's also what I mean when I write on my programs max reps, just to be clear. Again, I can even stop on the set, and I just did because, when you have glasses, it's kind of a hissy fit. You cannot really concentrate on doing things properly. Instead, without glasses, everything is possible. And the other cool thing is that at this point, Say It Right from Nelly Furtado just kicked in. And being in this gym was really cool because it takes me back to the years when everything was really fucking great. I mean, you had one burek for less than €1 or something like that. €1, one burek. It was like pretty crazy, and yeah, motivated me a little bit more to do even more reps. And then we kind of move to T flies, which are more for targeting the upper part of the chest. And with these, you cannot go that heavy because you're in a really strenuous position when it comes to your shoulder, and you really do not want to hurt all that stuff and the pec tendon, but you still want to get a great stretch and feel your upper chest a lot. So you're seeing more stretches, less load, and again, just a lot of reps. Probably we're going to get even here to rep 15. And some of the sets were cut or, you know, just a little bit edited. So probably you're not even seeing all the reps. But yeah, sorry, bro. Made you wait a lot. And this is what I like about this kind of stuff. This whole thing is edited, but just a little. So you're seeing all the set. There's no like crazy setup and like on a pro photo shoot or whatever. It's just how it is. And then we move to a high incline machine. Now, this one is a love and hate relationship because at the start I saw the banner on the foot handle of Gym 80, and I'm not gonna say anything about it negative, but it's just that it kind of looks like other machines that I've tried, but it has something going off, which I cannot explain. This one is probably from a later edition, and so it felt really, really right. I even felt very comfortable doing, again, pack minor shrugs on an incline, which I believe to be a bit more effective than the ones on the horizontal chest press. There's even a video online from J.M. Blakely teaching to one of his students how to do this kind of stuff with a Smith machine on an incline. Again, using more your pack minor and training what's underneath your chest. Needless to say, you cannot do this with a lot of weight. You have to concentrate and just put your ego on the side when you're doing these kind of sessions, especially if you are on vacation, especially if you are mildly hurt or you didn't recover and slept that well, especially when it's summer. You have to take the volume variable in a real good way. And I know that you're kind of feeling awkward, like one of these hypertrophy scientists, but don't worry. You're just doing something like 15 reps instead of doing 8 reps as usual on compounds. I mean, oh my god, it looks like a warm up, but it's not a warm up. How difficult that can be. And again, this is the pack minor shrug. This is the thing right here. Again, the shoulder gets elevated, the scapula gets elevated, and you can train more of your chest. Because some people said that you don't train chest with a scapular elevation, just like on upper chest shrugs. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's how anatomy works. But okay, these people studied on different books than mine and the ones from Delavie or Gandil. So, they know it all. They know it better. They have degrees. I don't. Now, I believe we did 3 sets, even on this machine. And by the time I was at last one, I didn't want to finish the set because it was feeling really, really good. Like, genuinely good. But, you know, we had to move, we had to try the other stuff in the gym. And also, I forgot, but we did push downs as a warm up. So I kind of forgot to, ask even to film the warm up because I thought it was kind of meaningless. So just don't think that we moved doing all this stuff without warming up, because we did. Just saying, do your warm ups, take your push downs to activate your triceps or your pull downs, or let's say your band work seriously. Do not neglect it. It really helps you perform better afterwards. But yeah, we did something like 3 to 4 sets of push downs before doing all of this. And this is, again, another chest press machine. This is a truly horizontal one when compared with the hammer strength one. And the ones with cable have a little bit more friction. That's why I'm using that. I like to mix different resistance profile. Oh my god, I feel really awkward using these terms. Let's keep it simple. I use a cable machine because it has a different friction. It has more friction than a plate loaded machine. And because of that, you have more tension throughout the whole movement, even if you are using acceleration, aka using your explosive power to, push up the weight, and you're not doing just tempo reps, slowing everything down. So this is why we also do, 2 to 3 sets here. It's not a big amount of volume. It's not killing your gains, but it's just adding another resistance profile on top of another resistance profile on top of another angle, and that's how you develop muscle when you've maximized all the other variables in the prior block. I mean, to me, all this stuff sounds really simple. To some people, it might sound like big brain stuff, but it's not once you try it and you get into the whole thing. And again, even here, pack minor shrugs, dips at the end, whatever you want to call them. And these, at the end, were really devastating. So this is the last press stuff work that we did, and that was about it. I mean, there's no point in doing even more presses, and I believe it would have been an overkill to work even shoulders and so on. I mean, working the front delt with another vertical press, when you have 3 presses in your pushing schedule, you're fine, you're done. Especially if you're doing this maybe twice a week, just as I do, because I really have to grow my upper body if I want to do well on the stage. And this is the last part of the workout, which is just some lateral raises and some dumbbell curls and some rear delt work, some rear delt flies. Lastly, some face pull sets, and everything was done and dusted. I mean, I don't think you need to do a press solely for your front delt. I never had to, not even when I was doing Olympic weightlifting. I tried over the years different shoulder presses, but I believe that as a bodybuilder, you shouldn't really try to stick to vertical pressing for the most part and with heavy loads. I really believe that that is detrimental to the ability of a bodybuilder to recover his shoulder joint and, rotator cuff really well. And what I love about this kind of raw footage is just that this is unfiltered. And when I do dumbbell curls, I really lean myself on the side and backwards and I almost look as if I'm more fat than what I have, as if I look more fat than, what I currently am. And, it just looks like I have a beer belly, but I don't. So this is just to show to people that even when you're recording your workouts, you can still cheat a lot. And that you really have to understand that most of the fitness industry is really geared toward, playing with your mind and putting some expectations that are really not just unreal, but that are hurting your mind and spirit for no reason. I mean, I could have posed, I could have done, things perfectly in the perfect light, but it would just it would just be a lie and it wouldn't help anybody. So I just love that this workout was really done in an unfiltered, really genuine way, to be honest. And again, I'm still thanking even a lot for filming all of this. And yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to say. It wasn't a big session. It wasn't something really, scientifically crazy. It was just what you need to do. Very basic, very easy to get big. And these are the face pulls. Now, one mention that I want to do near the end is that this gym had a very long rope, which is like two ropes, two standard ropes. And you really need that if you want to do face pulls perfectly. I've been saying this to all my trainees every damn time, and still some people want to promote face pulls with one rope. But that is detrimental to your shoulders. It really impinges the whole thing and it creates problems. So if you are in the gym, either you buy a daisy chain, either you buy your own rope, or either you steal two ropes from the guy that is doing text on his phone all the time and not even doing a set, and you do face pulls correctly because you want to grow your shoulder. You want to grow your rear delts and your traps. And yeah, that's kind of it. Thanks for watching. Please watch, Evan's channel and the car restoration uh, project. And yeah, whole lot of love. Peace out. Thanks so much again for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you can.